Alright, summer games done quick is now drawn to a close, so we're back to our regularly scheduled pirate Naxos. And we don't look that impressive on the map. No way, no how. We have what, 5 provinces in Europe? We've got Crete, Naxos, Venetia, uh, Tenerife, and the Azores. Whoop-de-doo. We've secured a grand total of 1 trade charter province. Cape Verde, pretty useless. Well, kind of. We're able to get some officers' mess there, which helps boost up the force limit that we're not putting to use because our army is tiny, unpaid. I only have 1 regiment of cavalry. That is beyond terrible. Yeah, beyond terrible sums up a lot of my position here, but we're gonna have to make do. I've been eyeing up the British as a target in our divine foresight. We subjugated Tyrconnell. We have them on scutage, so they don't get involved in our wars unless England feels like declaring upon them directly. However, the idea is to use them as a springboard to take over the entire British Isles. Remember, we are only allowed to take islands in this game. And for the old world, everything is an island if they don't have a land connection to Istanbul. The new world's a bit more complex. We're going to have to be a bit more arbitrary. I think if you're attached to this landmass or this landmass, then you are not an island. So I'm quite happy to take this. Kinda happy to take this. And this is just gorgeous. I'm actually going to steer the ship a bit on this campaign. I was originally only going to take 4 provinces in each colonial region to prevent spawning any colonies of ours. However, I read a comment that said, geez, just look at the island set up in the New World. It's perfect for having your pirate base. It's also possible that I imagined that comment, but I choose to follow it. I think this would be great to just have Naxos stretched out across it. So we're going to take the somewhat painful route of shifting our capital over to the New World so that we can do that. That's going to be tricky. We already have a fair chunk of development here. It's 80 something, is it not? 84 development. Which means we're going to have to match that and then some over in the New World and have some pretty fiscal irresponsibilities in shifting our capital there. But in the favor of having nice borders, I think we should go for that. If you want to tribute to that comment, I'm fine being that person who said the thing says Klim own. No. The E in Azores is like E in any English word. It isn't pronounced the same as Spanish. Well, that's nice, but this is not owned by the Spanish anymore. Or the discount Spanish. Alright, I'm worried about a few things in the game. 1, we have no truces. Anybody could declare war on us. I'm sure the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the Moroccans, or most terrifyingly of all the Ottomans would love to declare war on us, so pretty confident that's going to be coming one way or another. Our economy is in a bit of a shambles. Jings, we are hemorrhaging money to the point where I think I'm going to fire our navigator. He's costing us money that we're not putting to use. At least I don't think so. Let me check about our explorers. Can you tell us more about over here? You can. Well, I don't know why you're not already, so please go and do so. The rest of my ships are costing me an arm and a leg, because we are way over force limit on them. Other than our esteemed transport fleet, I'd like to get our ships together some way, somewhat, so I can organize them. Let's get them over to Venice. Seems like a good place for that to happen. If I recall well, I've been building up a whole bunch of ships, but it's costing me. Boy, is it costing me. Something else I need to worry a bit about is Austria's feelings towards me. I raid the heck out of their coasts, and they're not happy about it. I need to maintain great relations, because I'm going to keep raiding their coasts to hell and back. Do we count straits as land connections? No, because otherwise Venetia would not be an island, but it is. It's even defined in the game as an island. Naval reformer. I do like cheap, especially when it's morale of navies. Oh man, I just fired a guy saying, or I was just thinking about firing a guy because I couldn't afford him. But this guy, you know, I live and die on the seas. It makes a lot of sense for me to keep you around. Maybe we'll wait and see what our explorers fish up. I'm keen to see what's on the other side of Africa there. For once. I think this this campaign lives and dies with what we can do at sea, and I do eventually want to defeat the Ottomans. But the Ottomans at sea are truly terrifying. If we look at it, yeah, I broke down in manly tears reading their number of galleys earlier on. And if I want to fight the British, well, they got 15 heavy ships, and they're totally not OP British ideas to help them out with that. So, bad times for Naxos. God, I miss having money already. Right, what's the story here with all these navies of mine? Ah, yes, of course we have. We got our Flagu Shipu there. Now, I need to think a bit about what I'm going to do with all of these. I mean, if I mothball them, I should probably mothball all my heavies. They cost me way too much. The galleys less so. I'm sure I'm going to kick myself for doing this eventually, but for now, let's mothball them all together. As for the galleys, I would like half of them over in the New World. I want them healed up before they make that journey, so that as soon as this colony is done, and it's very nearly done, I'll be able to raid the heck out of the natives. I quite like to do that because for random New World provinces, these are phenomenal levels of development. 21 over there, 29 here. I'm just salivating at the thought of raiding those coastlines, so I will. Do you need that single cav regiment, Jake? Which single cav regiment? If you mean in my army, well, I'd rather have my 10,000 than not. Never a fan of having pretty much no navy. Let's get you guys together. This is Operation Save a Buck or Two. I would quite like these guys to get a bit more of their integrity back before I send them off to the New World, so that I can be ready to raid at a moment's notice. Hopefully 10 of them's enough to do exactly that. Alright, 79's plenty, so there's the 10 of you. Let's just send you over to whatever this place is called, Dalvarchen. It's our first new place. I wouldn't mind giving it a significantly better name than that. Pirates mothballing ships, this is wrong on so many levels, says Edrai. Gotta balance those books. We might be a pirate state, but we're still a state. And what a state. Caravels, on the other hand, should be privateering till the day they die. I'm wondering why I don't privateer Constantinople. Was there a reason that I didn't do that? Looking at it, right, when you privateer Genoa, but Constantinople is so dominated by the Ottomans that I think we could make a damn sight more money if we were to privateer there. I think we could make silly money privateering there. So let's just change our focus a little bit and see what comes of it. I was probably worried that if the Ottomans ever declare war on us, then our ships are going to be sunk like nobody's business, but I might as well start taking my petty revenge on them here and now. Otherwise, I want those ships together and ready to, well, ready to rest, not ready to rock and roll anything. There we go, look at that, 65% more efficient, and that makes us a good chunk of money. See, balancing the books already. If there's one thing I take pride on in my campaigns in EU4, it's that I run fiscally responsible nations. At least that's what I'll claim. Hopefully these two guys merge up at some point, otherwise the two stacks just going to be picked off like nobody's business. What environment are we heading to in RimWorld after we blast off, says Merchant? So I've figured that the best thing I could do is actually put down RimWorld for a wee bit, because it was kind of swallowing up my life. You know, I'll let you guys take a little bit of a breather here if you're able to make it in time. That's a big if. Oh, Jing's 11th of May, yeah, screw that, just make the voyage. Cessation, you say? I do like money. but I really like having +3 stability. And there we go! We got this place fully up and running, and now I need to think about how we're going to expand further. I'm torn a bit. I need lots of development, so I'd really like to send off to Cadinia. On the other hand, I need more range so that I can, well, explore and privateer more. So that makes the provinces down here more tantalizing. I could go for the best of both if I colonize Datir. Got nothing really to purge here, but it's 8 development that I would rather have than anybody else having, and it wouldn't give me the range here, but it would act as a good springboard. So I think yes, we'll do Datir. Just send a regular old colonist there. And why would I ever turn away Giovanni Gavalis? I mean, your naive enthusiasm's hurting us a bit here, but how can I say no to a 666? So keep on keeping on for us. The game also tempts me to get some nice new maritime ideas, but what can I do with it? Privateer efficiency with extra naval ideas sounds nice. Oh, well, there's no ifs or buts about it. It does sound nice. Not to mention that innovativeness. I don't know if there's anything I was saving up my dip points for. So what happens when you step away from a game for too long? You forget what you were all about. But that extra privateer efficiency would really, really be nice. Get a job, Wave Hugger. Cheers for weekly one-shot 100. It was a fun VOD, says Kratel. I did enjoy it, but the victory came a bit too easy, I think. It would have been more exciting for me if I'd really been up against the ropes, but I didn't make the challenges. Why would we lie when we have the best offers? I also agree. I'm also thinking it's probably worth my time to fully state this up. Wait, what? It's a 1 province area? Jings, that is grim. That is extremely grim. Well, mistakes were made. I mean, it's by design. They're not meant to be any lower than 3. I know there are some with 2, and I don't like that. But 1, jings, that's the game being nasty to me. Still, though, I could really do with 7 development of no autonomy. Oh man, the state maintenance is going to cost me a lug load, but I'll take it. I will take it and run. It's just barely making me more money than it's worth there, but truly what I need is, yeah, well, I need that force limit. James, this is costing me so much. I am very tempted just to scuttle these galleys, but because this cost is just getting enormous. But I will not for now. Pirates should be unable to take loans anyway. I mean, who's even going to give us a loan? That's what I'd like to know. Right, where are those galleys of mine? Hopefully they don't die along the way, but you know, they could. Not going to get there until October. Ah, they should be fine, but I want to privateer those natives into oblivion. Alright, follow-up question. Diplomacy. Nobody wants to be our ally at all, and the people who we could conceivably get are pretty awful as allies go, so I'm not even sure what's worth me doing with my diplomats right now. I think I might spy on the Ottomans, because bear with me, there could be a day that I want a claim on them. They do hold the Knights and Cyprus after all, both of which I wanted. And whilst this is expensive, can't say no to getting a bit of Republican tradition. We need okay guys, you need to hold out. It's a couple of months till you get there, but I need you to make it. Yeah man, going over the whole high seas with just galleys, perhaps not my best maneuver, but needs must. Unmothballing these guys is going to cost me an arm and a leg when it comes to my sailors, but hopefully, I mean, when can I start raiding? 52, 52, alright, that's a few years away. And that's 53 in Morocco. There's a fair while before we get out of the banks of the Mediterranean. Banks, that's funny. Why would there be navies here in the New World? Surely they would not be able to have access to them so easily. But no, these are some kind of super advanced rando North Americans we're dealing with. Well, if we can just kindly... Okay, thank God we made it a wee bit short on the sailors here, but let's see what kind of dosh they have. And did I bring enough boats to truly get that dosh out of them? That's what I'd like to know. There we go. Oh, they won't be happy with me for this, but their happiness is not a factor. Good to finally have a bit of a springboard to take everything I want from these poor natives. Jake, where's your capital? It's on Venetia. I would like to move it to the New World at some point. So, who is Hoopa? Ah, these guys down here are Hoopa. Roger that. Alright, let's get down here. I don't think I'll be able to raid that far. No way, no how. However, around here, all that's thine shall be mine. Nice. Alright, a little bit of money to see us through, get back, repair up, and just be ready to earn your keep over there. Otherwise, I continue to build up some heavy ships, I think. How many have we got now? We've got 8 here with another 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 should be okay. I would like a 15th. I'd feel safer with a 15th, tell you that much for free. But money ain't free. Funny that. What did you have the fancy random new world setting on? I feel like I usually get a boring one, but the fancy settings could be a bit much. I don't know. I don't think I have it on common, but I don't think I have it on rare. I suppose I could check, but I'm not going to come out of this just now. Ah, hey Aristo. Hope all is well for you. It kind of is here. God, I want to crush the British. But here's the main problem with me wanting to move my capital over here. I won't be able to freely expand in Europe, or really anywhere, before I move my capital over here. Oh, bollocks, I didn't think of that, did I? If I'm in the HRE, I won't be able to move my capital away either. Which means I'd have to leave the HRE. Austria would be particularly miffed, and I would no longer have divine protection from the Ottomans. Oh man, that's trading in one cool thing for another cool thing. We're actually an elector in the HRE, and we'd be throwing that away. Dang. Oh well, it's not something that's going to materialize fairly quickly one way or the other, and we can still expand through vassals in our beloved old world. Alright, what do your elf eyes see? Quite a bit of juicy land out there, and I want it. Also want this Carrack back with the other Carracks. And there you are. Please tell me about the coastline out there. Become the HRE then move, says that leprechaun. Might go a bit against the campaign goals, just a bit. New ruler for Austria there. Hopefully they're ready to kick some Ottoman arse, because truly I'm surprised they have not yet declared war upon me. There's another couple of Carracks to throw in with the rest. 200 sailors, or the guts of which to restock up my my mothballed ships once the mothballing is done. Gotta keep that in mind, and yeah, we're hitting deficit city around here. Once we're done exploring the coastline here, oh well, no, there might be more to explore around here. And there we go, we got our Greek settlement on the go. Settlement growth is horribly low, it's arid, nothing adjacent controlled by us. A lot of costs for us. Great Britain is an island. What's your plan for that? Well, naturally it will be my island. But taking it might prove difficult at this stage. We'll get there though, don't you worry, girly. And Revenge of Amaralon cost me 3 ducats whilst mothballed, which is crazy. However, that money from Constantinople ain't too shabby. Venice has a bit of power here. What a joker. Good to see that my lights converged there as well. Okay, I just called them a joke and now they're no longer eligible as a rival, so I got to get rid of that embargo on them. And that means I have trade dispute on them, but I can't think of a good way to put that to use yet. What I'm doing is I'm merging together all my Carracks, mothballing them, and just keeping them together. So when war hits I can go clunk, and then it'll still take about 7 months or so for my navy to be fully armed and operational. But I need to be ready for that. If I get you over here and erect one more Carrack, then I have a full 15. That is 45 combat width at sea. That should be able to knock the teeth out of pretty much anybody, but it's hard to say. Like I said, the Ottomans have 117 galleys, which is terrifying, and the Great British also have 15 Carracks, and, well, they are great and British, so that's a bit of a problem. Short on rivals, I'm thinking Portugal, because I don't like them. Tunis, Papal State. I mean, I don't really care for Tunis, but they're allied with the Ottomans, which means they're going to clash heads anyway. As for Milan, they have no friends that I care about. They're also rivaled with somebody who I want to like, which is Austria, so I'm afraid Milan, I don't like you. Are you doing one province islands only, or multiple provinces count? All of Great Britain counts, and so does all of Japan, so that should give you an idea of my definition of island. It doesn't have a land connection to Istanbul, and it's an island. It's not the first flu I've ever seen. Take him away. Yeah, go figure. Morocco don't like us. I'm very surprised that the Ottomans have not pulled the trigger on me. It would be very useful for me, in a way, for the Ottomans to fire a war against me sometime soon, because it would allow me to... Oh, this changes every... Wait, what? I didn't spawn it, did I? No, surely not. It goes to... I was just wondering why I got support for it there, but no, I was jumping the gun there. Got too excited. Sadly, it's Castle who has access to it. Lovely, I still get support in the one province that truly matters, and it should grow fairly quickly. Should, he says. Well, here's hoping. Hey Jake, will you be at the grandest LAN? Oh, naturally. Looking forward to it. Putting together the greatest Paradox team known to man. No more being exiled to Australia for us. Felt hats for Spain. Oh god. Oh no, Spain allied with France. Did they have that before? Possibly, I'm not very good at noticing these things, but Spain remains truly terrifying. They had a union over France. France broke away, and yet they still see eye to eye. Probably on their mutual hatred of the British. Now granted, I want the British dead as well, but the British are allied with Austria. And the weakened Austria is an Austria who probably won't defend me against the incursions of the Otto scum. Speaking of which, we got what we need to fabricate a claim on Rhodes. I wouldn't mind having Cyprus as well, but that's a different story. Which means it's probably not too big of a deal to keep you there. Right, we finished that exploration. What do we have here? Kilwa, Kilwa. I was expecting to see some Portuguese around here. This is interesting to me because I'd really like to start conquering stuff around here. But the more I conquer over there, the harder it's going to be to shift my capital over to the New World in order to enjoy all that. Oh man, this keeps me so weak for so long if I don't just gobble up this delicious land, and God is it delicious. Kind of colonial range are we talking about? I still need a bit of a springboard, but I can't take a province like that. It's not an island, you see. Alright, fair enough. What I would like you to do as your final task for me is to tell me about this land. You tell me that you can't. Alright, they'd not yet finished their mission there. Tell me about the coastline there so I get an ideal idea of the development. And we're good to keep going. Jake, St. Helena. Yes, St. Helena. Portuguese held. Would mean I'd have to clash with the Portuguese once more. And I'm sure the Portuguese are still terrified of... Oh, oof. Yeah, I ain't eating those peasants. Take my prestige and go. It's not like I've had any all game. Yeah, St. Helena's tempting, but I need to try to take as few provinces as possible whilst I'm colonizing the New World, because I would love to... I just love to have this. Right, I'm sure the development is utter arse, right? Wrong one, Jake. Very wrong one. I know this game. Right, it is choosing to loot us. Yeah, not the most developed provinces in the world, and given that they are Arctic, they will probably remain not the most developed provinces in the world. But just imagine Naxos up there. That's what I'm imagining. Hey, did we ever tap into what this is? Still, it means I have to solidify myself with reasonable amounts of development over in the New World. And for that I would like to take expansion ideas, but the next set of ideas is a couple techs away. Yeah, actually a couple techs away. I forget if I could ever raid this stuff, but yeah, if it was in my reaches, then I'd be raiding. But we've got a couple of years to go on that. Glory Road. Arst. What a province. Oh, maybe I read it wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. It was you that found it, right? Oh, Arast. I mean, after our last campaign, I'm just assuming that everything's going to be awful development. Then I find out someone like you. 14 dev? Oh, that's going to be mine soon. I don't mind the Europeans colonizing lots. In fact, it works to my benefit if they do. Lots more land for me to raid. The sooner, the better. And yeah, Spain are taking that to heart. What have they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 provinces on the go already. That is nuts. But, you know, just do it closer to me so I can raid the hell out of them. The problem is going to be when war gets declared, they're going to occupy my provinces and there's going to be precious little I can do against it. My country is very spread out, so it's very hard for me to do much. But if I have my 15 Cadacs, I like to think I'll be able to take on most things with a pulse. That's the hope, at least. We'll see where we go with it. In my Granada campaign... Ooh, lots of promising glory roads around here. In my Granada campaign, I would say that it was investing in the Navy that's what kept me together. Certainly wasn't my stunning displays early on land. That said, the battles we won on land got real nice. Speaking of real nice, not this land. But I really like what we're going to do with it if we manage to take it all. So even though it's very costly, I'm going to do what I can to get my capital over there. Jake, does a DDR in your name refer to something? Asks Lacat72. Yes, it does. Stands for Dance Dance Revolution. My favourite game. Privateer efficiency is going to go up, and I don't mind the repairing in coastal sea zones either. But on top of that, we get our... well, forget the diplo annexation cost. The core creation cost there is rather nice. I can also enlist privateers to boost the privateer efficiency further, and of course I will. I'm not going to form crease, not now, not ever. Global naval engagement is terrific for wars, but that privateer efficiency plus 50% itself is something I really covet. I think I will take it. I will repeal you. Hold on, this... I haven't even had this one for 10 years. Okay, I'll repeal you shortly. And then I will bring you back when it's time for war. Thought I'd had it for much longer. But I like having that in because it means that my spoils of war, which is 580... yeah, times are all right for us. Times are all right. Jingxia, I wouldn't half mind in anywhere with no autonomy. Get more shipyards, because I need that naval force limit. I need it bad. A very rare case I think you're going to see of me actually spending money on buildings. And trust me, I don't do that often. It should pay for itself, really. The amount I'm paying for over force limit here. It's 1.9, but it's going to be a whole lot more when those ships of mine are no longer sitting around with their balls all mouthed. So yes, let's enjoy some shipyards. Is there a privateer efficiency diplo advisor? Not that I can think of. And I can usually think of these things. Crete's autonomy is fairly high, which is a gutting shame. But it might be worth my time to get a shipyard there anyway. I'm not going to let go of Crete anytime soon. Naxos I'm a little less keen on investing into because it's on tender hooks. Cape Verde may be worth throwing a shipyard into. Maybe worth throwing a shipyard into. I mean, the autonomy floor is right the way down. Yeah, it's probably worth throwing one into. Alright, I'll take it. And yes, let's keep the 666 until he's no longer useful for us. Now, what else is there to do around here? Can we go and explore more? Alright, we'll check out the schoon. We'll try to do all the exploration we can whilst we still have the exploration advisor. But I really want to switch him out for the morale advisor. Can pirates not do trade companies? No, we can do trade companies. Granted, we only have one province and it's not doing a whole lot of trading for us. But it's there. And I need the money. I'm young and I need the money. 15 is a combat width of 45. I don't think I'm going to need more anytime soon. Famous last words, but hopefully that'll make it. Trust me, there is a temptation to declare war on the Ottomans, but if my navy can't defeat their navy, and they do have heavies themselves, then I am going to eat a whole load of pain, because it won't be a war that I can sell off Hungary and Austria in. They're not my allies, they're only defending me because I'm in the Empire and they have reason to want me. Jake, can you show your government reforms? That I can. We're quite close to the next one. Pirate Republic, of course, Articles of Agreement, frequent elections, because I've got to drive up my the proficiency of my ruler. Plus 5 states. And hey, with the way we're playing, I'm probably going to be glad I took that. What was I tempted with otherwise? I mean, they're all pretty nice. This is not the first flu we've ever had. Separation of power, that'll be a question. Black Market Consortium. War against the world. Shipbuilding time reduction. Oh. You've got me all kinds of excited here. I think we primarily go with the Buccaneers because I need that Republican tradition. But some of these tempt me ever so. Institution embracement cost is a bit meh for me. National unrest is nice. Can place trade ports is also quite nice. Difficult choices, but not one I have to make anytime soon. Would be interesting if Asian nations could create trade companies in Europe. I agree that would be interesting. It's not something I would see for the base game though. Would be trivial to mod in, like the Iberian Trade Company or the British Trade Company. Trade efficiency is all very nice, but I'm gonna want the naval morale guy anyway. Right, nice spying on the Otto friends though. I'll just take my claim on Cyprus and be on my way. And as I said, it's pretty important that the Austrians don't hate my guts, since they are they're what I sell out when the Ottomans come for me. The Ottomans have been a bit lax on coming for me though. I mean, that's good for me. It gives me time for stability, time for all these buildings that I want, and oh yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a few more of my trade company investments here. Never mind goods produced and all that, 'cause it's a bit of a crappy province. But that admiralty would give me a whole load of force limit. Sadly, it's a grand, and I can't really afford a grand right now. I thought that said 420. Thank God it did not. But the Ottomans terrify me. There's no ifs, and or buts about that. They are so huge and so powerful, and they want Naxos and Crete. And as it happens, now that I gracefully gave them Lika and Dalmatia, they want Venetia as well. No end to their desires there. Okay, great. I can get the nice cheap individual there. And is it tempting to buy one of you as well? I mean, it's money for monarch points. I mean, boiling it right down, that's what it is. So let's take it. And whilst the sailor situation isn't amazing, it's probably a good idea for me to say nuts to the force limit. Oh, that's painful. Probably still is though a good idea to say nuts to the force limit and actually build up some more caravels. Because this privateering is what's keeping me functionally on the map, so yeah, let's... Ooh, I do not like the distribution there. They chucked most of them onto Crete. Caravels are good though, very good. We'll build up some more. Because when I go raiding, I should be able to go raiding very soon, May this year. Well, I hope my war galleys are up to the task. How did you get free from Venice? Tried to do Naxos, but couldn't get it off the ground. It was a sticky situation, but we were able to bring it together. Same religion's what's keeping us together. They're about to be very unhappy. The first couple episodes, I think, go into great detail of how we made that come together. Alright, well, 100%, and that is money and sailor power for me. Austria are not happy. Thankfully, raided coast caps out at... there we go. Some of these places have been raided already. Thankfully, the malice for raiding caps out at 100, so we can use that to our advantage. Just making sure that we still have 100 efficiency on all of these. Okay, now why? Tell me, why would the Ottomans be bordering Naxos there? I can think of only one thing, and it is invasion. So much as it has been fun capping all these provinces, I think the smartest thing to do right now is to get what you might call the heck out of Dodge, because those Ottomans are coming for us. I can't think of another reason why they would be right there. It's a coming. Now, hopefully our good friend Austria is totally willing to defend us. Oh, they are in debt and they are malevolent. However, I am in the HRE and they are the HRE ruler, so surely they will help out. Do you have a flagship, Jake? Yes, we do. We have Revenge of Madelon right here, and it's totally made for fighting here. Well, fighting and sieging. I forgot about that extra width. Hopefully that doesn't come and bite me. Okay, ships, get to safety, because I feel the hammer dropping. He's even paying for his units. You know, it would be prudent for me to do the same. Oh man, losing all that money. With the exception of you, Giovanni, you're a great ruler and all, but where's that amazing navy of mine? They know which phase comes first. However, there's a whole lot to be said for engagement with, so let's go with full-on maneuver there. Come on, Ottomans, don't make me feel like a fool here. Because I'm feeling like a fool here. This is where they just go and declare on someone else entirely. Ah, man, that holy crivens, that's a lot of dosh to say goodbye to. But I'm no longer making money on the privateering. You know what, we repair in coastal sea zones. Why don't I keep you all together and say you guys go and privateer that together? Ah, because I still want to repair up. Never repair. Okay, now severely damaged should do you. Unfortunately, our pirate's deed will not tell anyone that he's dead for some time. Maybe just throw something to the side, you can ignore it. Words to live by. Go on, get it done. Maritime ideas, best ideas, as we all know. Alright, Bitter Craven's done what he did, and hey, we captured a slave ship. Liberate them and let them live free. That doesn't sound right at all. That said, getting those manpowers and slavers sounds awesome. But I do like money. Liberate them. Can't believe some people don't understand that slavery is freedom. Jake, maybe raid coast with your whole fleet, and that is what we're thinking. As we go around here, it's just, hello, thank you, please, give me the money and give me those sailors. Because it's expensive maintaining a fleet like this. Expensive is right. We got nout and nout, what a shame. I was so convinced that he was going to come along and ruin my day. Very ineffective at some of these raids. That's surprising me. Why so ineffective? Alright, let's just get you on the go. Not doing anti-piracy, are you? Yeah, they actually are doing pirate hunting in Alexandria. That's going to counter me. Well, let's counter that. I do hesitate to think if it's worth the time, but we'll do it anyway. Because all that's thine shall be mine. Oh, I don't like this ruler already. There we go, considerably more effective at taking this over. That's all well and good, but let's get back to what we know and love. Just taking all this loot for ourselves. Indeed, slaves are just future pirates. I mean, eventually they'll see the funny side. It's good to make some dosh here. Not so good to be capped out on admin. I'm thinking it's way ahead of the curve, but it might be worth... No, that's really expensive. What I need to do is get some more development over here. It feels a bit of a shame to do it here. It's not the best of provinces for it. There's quite a cost to doing that island. But I need New World development. As unfortunate as that is. Especially on this one province state, I feel like I've just, well, bad things have happened. Still, let's boost you up a wee bit. I think I have more dip than I need. Admin's what I'm really going to need for all the everything, truly. Plus, there's no autonomy here, so it's a pretty good province to have this going on in. There you go. Just gotta boost that dev one way or another. I do love making this dosh. Right, for whatever reason, the Ottomans are hesitant. Fine by me. Let's continue to privateer the heck out of them. Have you on default. Have you go home at war, because I worry about that immensely. And let's just continue on our jolly times of raiding. These ones I can't really get to, however we can go down and along to our good friends around here and take it over. Yeah, sure, one of them was defended there, but it's good to get the sailors. I certainly need them. We go way over our sailor limit, but that's okay. Piracy is all about freedom, is it not? Correct. But I am very dubious about what the Ottomans are doing. I can't think of a good reason why they would be so attached to the Naxos province there. I think they're planning something. Spain seems to have too much of your rightful territory. Yeah, there's the thing, I kind of have to slow down on taking provinces in the old world, or anywhere other than the new world, if I want to shift my capital over there, and I do want to shift my capital over there. So what we're doing is we are actually enjoying a fair chunk of dosh out of this, which is magnificent. Nice vacation home, Jake. I agree. Spain again, unhappy face, says Pepper. I mean, it's good to have an adversary, right? And the Spanish certainly are adversaries. Always getting on my case. And I don't think we'll be able to make another jump over here, although I'm curious to check. Yeah, it's as far as it goes, but I think there's still some Portuguese. No, I was beaten to the punch in the Portuguese. Well, that happens. It's a shame because they got some good land for it. Let's head back. I'm not really sure I want to mothball you up, but we are making good money here. The spoils of... Well, no, I gotta remember, a good chunk of that came in from what we took there. I might have to re-mothball these guys. It's a shame because it costs a lot of sailors that I don't really have. Yeah, being over force limit alone is costing me an arm and a leg on that one. Raiding is powerful, that it is. Now, I do wish... I'm happy that the Austrians are malevolent, but it would be good for me if they would not defend Britain. Then I could just fight Britain and relatively safely fight them. I mean, even if they utterly crush me at the seas, the worst they're going to be able to do is take that subject away from me. Ooh, Vinland coast. Please do check that out for me. How are you supposed to defend against raiding? Anti-piracy. As you saw, when the Alexandrians did anti-piracy on their trade node, it reduced my effectiveness to 1%. Means I got pretty much nothing out of it. Ooh, this is a tough one. I really like the Buccaneers being in charge. Gain through coastal raiding. I do raid quite a lot, so I guess that's kind of a given. I could probably safely go for the others. I like shipbuilding time reduction. I like it a lot. But naval leaders being even better is good as well. Can place merchant trade posts is pretty nice as well. I don't even know what the war against the world casus belli is. I should, but I don't. And again, I do like that. Tyrants of the world must be unseated. We can no longer tolerate kings and despots making slaves of our fellow man. We shall adopt a new doctrine, war against the world. That does sound nice, doesn't it? Sure about the Buccaneers getting... Oh wait, no, I like the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are kind of what I need. Oh well, is there any choice other than war against the world? Well, clearly not. Did Grugi write that? Asks Gardy Martin 78. The fun thing is, people tend to be able to notice when I write stuff in the game. Alright, didn't get a slew of CBs, so I should probably look up what exactly that one does to activate. Alright, I am fascinated that the Ottomans are not declaring war on me. They are giving me all the warning signs of somebody that's about to declare war. So let's not chill out in the galleys, but the other guys can mothball for now. And that should help balance the books at least a little bit. Oh yeah, see just how much those heavy fleets cost me is insane. Thankfully though, we're kind of building up the force limit a bit. So I like to believe. Diptech 23, I believe. That's for super CB imperialism. Disgusted at how long it's taking to get these colonies of mine up and on the go. Oh, actually, I don't want more tax in Europe, but I kinda need sailors, so I hate to say it. I'll probably take the production. Portuguese people, huh? Well, that sounds like a good time to get some more everything. I still need tip attack 23. Thanks for the heads up there. Oh, well, what's he doing now? It's hard to tell. Maybe he saw Austria at war and thought, okay, he won't go for me. But it's very hard to tell. So what's going on with poor Ulm? The Austrian purge of Ulmer heresy. Please, for the love of God, don't spread heresy to Venezia. That would tank my income in ways that I am not prepared for. Meanwhile, though, I must continue to privateer Constantinople. Keep the Ottoman... well, just bring down the Ottoman income. It should help me at least a little bit. Thinking about what I'm doing here, right? I'm taking away almost half of their trade income, and that's a lot of trade income. And goodbye prestige. Man, I tanked all that giving in to rebels that I couldn't even surrender to. Did a Naxos run inspired by yours? Also became a pirate haven, eventually formed Tunis. Tunis, eh? Unorthodox, but congratulations, Slipher the Great.